Hi, my name is Holly, and the purpose of this video is to show you how to solve everyday problems in just 8 easy steps in ways that make sense and keep your emotions out of the way. And this is important because as fast as we move today and the pace that this world moves in, it's easy to get frustrated and just react instead of respond to problems. The only requirement for this technique is a quiet place, a pen and a piece of paper, some ideas, and the ability to write those down on paper, and the ability to make a choice. The time required for this technique is 30 to 40 minutes, which compared to how much time we spend mulling over problems and chasing ideas and getting frustrated, that's not very much time at all. I'm going to be using a dry erase board. I would suggest that you go ahead and pause in between steps to give yourself some time to write down your ideas. Let's get started. Step 1. Find a quiet place and bring your pen and paper. Step 2. Write down what your problem is and write down what your ideal goal would be. For me, my problem is my roommate won't do the dishes. My ideal goal is to find some way to share that responsibility. Step 3. Write down what you know about the situation. Just the facts, keep your emotions out of it. What I know is that my roommate works nights and she's off Mondays and Tuesdays. I work days and I'm off Fridays and Saturdays. We both work Wednesdays and Sundays. We both hate dishes, but we're both reasonable people. What? What? Those are the facts. Step 4. Write down all of the possible solutions that you can think of. I don't care how crazy they are, just write them all down. Write them down, write down the possible solutions until you can't write down anymore. Just for brevity's sake and because I don't have enough space on my erase board, I've come up with 5. I could break all the dishes. I could throw them at her. I could scream and yell and throw a fit. I could talk to her. And I could come up with a plan. Step 5. For every possible solution that you've written down, write a brief description of what the possible or most likely consequence would be. Be brief. For my first one, break all the dishes, the most likely result would be no more dishes at all. That's not necessarily a good thing. I could throw them at her, and I would probably go to jail. I could scream and yell, but that's going to be no solution at all. I could talk to her, that's a possibility. And I could come up with a plan that creates a win-win situation. That's a very good possibility. Step 6. Mark out the ones that you definitely don't want to deal with the consequences. For me, this was easy. I don't want to have no more dishes. I definitely don't want to go to jail. And my whole point was to find a solution. So I'm left with 2. I'm left with talk to her and come up with a plan. So I have to make a choice between these 2. I think that I could probably do both of them. Step 7. After you've done the whole process, ask yourself these questions. Does this solve my problem? Well, in my case, it hasn't solved my problem yet, but at least I'm into the solution rather than focusing on the problem. If not, can I at least find some peace? Well, I can at least put it to rest for tonight. And that's a good thing because I've been driving myself crazy trying to figure this thing out. Number 3, does it meet my needs over time? And what that means is sometimes we can find a solution that might work for right now, but a week from now it may not work out so well. So you have to think about, will it meet my needs over time? And number 4, what have I learned? I've learned that as long as I'm focusing on the solution instead of the problem, I'm going to be more likely to be successful. Step 8. Now that we've made our decision and we know that we're based on solid principles, then we can act on our decision. And that's it. Thank you guys for listening.
Ding, ding,
Ding, ding, ding.
The more you know.